What's up? I got a cool little project going on with the SC. Let me show you what it is. I was hoping to catch a little more daylight, but I had to work today, so I think I got a little bit more time. We'll see if we can make it happen. But let me show you what's going on. So if you notice, when I open the door, one of the nice things is that a lot of Lexuses nowadays, a lot of modern, contemporary, not exotic, excuse me, luxury vehicles, come with a little more elegant door sill. They usually have like a metal trim along the side. Now the funny thing is that at the time the SC300 was Lexus's top vehicle, so you would expect it to have a little more finesse, you know. But the door sills came in just solid plastic. So what I did was I went ahead and I hit up a Lexus GS300, and I was able to grab the door sills off of that. But you can tell, if you see here in comparison, they're a little short. They don't run the entire length of the factory door sill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the plate off. I'm going to take the plate off, and you can see where the grooves are on the inside. And I'm going to customize the original plate, excuse me, the original door sill from the SC. And we're going to put these inside right here like this. So what I'm going to have to do is basically cut the original door sill. We're going to use some masking tape. We're going to mask it all off. And we're going to measure the length of the original blade, if you will. And we're going to remove that section out of the factory door sill. So what happens is, once that's done, we can go ahead and install this plate in the center. It's going to look pretty elegant. But as you can see, you know, it stands out. It contrasts with the black, and there's not much chrome or, you know, silver in the vehicle at all. In fact, I'm going to get pedals soon, so there will be. But for right now, it's a little bold. So what I'm going to do is, I don't quite know if I like the black door sill, even though the body is black. So you see how the original door sill on the interior is tan. I went ahead and got some Plasti-Dip camo, which is basically a rubberized paint. And the beauty of Plasti-Dip is that if you don't like something, because it's rubberized, when it dries, you can peel it right off. You can paint over top of your car's exterior. You can paint your headlights. And if you don't like it, just like masking tape, it comes right off. So it's going to make it easy. And the reason why I want to do tan is because I think that tan's going to contrast with the body of the car, the black down here. But it's going to match the interior, and it's almost going to look like how a carpet rolls out. The interior, in a sense, if you'll bear with me, it's inviting you in. So this color here is going to step out just a little bit and contrast with the black, and I think it's going to look really nice. So let's get to it. We're going to put this here. You know, we're going to measure, we're going to mask, we're going to cut, and let's see how it goes. Alright, so you guys can see what I did here. I went ahead and I measured the strip onto the door sill. It's 8 1/4 inches off each end to keep it centered. And I went ahead and taped around it so we have exact measurements. So now I will know exactly where to cut. And I measured the angles on the corner because they're slightly canted. So now I'm going to go ahead and use a Dremel tool, and I'm basically going to cut along the edge of the tape and take out that center portion. So now the plate will fit directly into that empty slot. Usually want to wear goggles for something like this, but I'm a rebel. I removed the tooth with one of these once. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, so we went ahead and got the first one done. You can see we cut the middle out. Here's the piece. And you're going to notice, actually, this one's better. You can see all these little teeth along the edge, all these jagged edges. Those are what's known as burrs. And what happens is it's a result of the friction from the Dremel tool grinding against plastic. It starts to melt the plastic. So everything we cut away here ends up becoming molten. And it's basically these little chunks of melted plastic. So what happens is we can actually just flick it off in parts like this and use your fingers and just rub them off. But you'll see we have all these flakes here. But what's going to happen is we're just going to sand it all down to make it smooth once we got the majority of these big chunks off. And then we'll go from there. Alright, so we've gone ahead and we've sanded off the burrs, cleaned it up, so we have smooth edges now. There's the cutout. And the plate fits snugly into place. How it should. It actually goes through a little bit, which is fine because it's going to have a floor once it's mounted onto the car. So it's in place. Once I mount it, I'm going to have to press it down. But you can get an idea here of the final product. There's a light. Let me get out of your light there. You know, it's not gonna look too bad. I'm gonna press it down nice and tight. And now we will get ready for paint. So we're gonna take this off and sand this down a little bit so it catches and make it tan. All right. So when you're painting, my phone has a magnet on it. It's awesome. I can stick it to anything metal. So it's on a pipe right now. Ta-da! Anyway, so you want to shake up your can, and you want to use Plasti-Dip kind of like you would use any spray paint. So in case not like you don't know how to use a spray can, but I'll show you how. Because some people overdo it, and what happens is they end up soaking whatever it is that they're painting. And you just for the base coat, you just want a light coat. If it were something that was, let's say, if it was over top of a color, then you would just want, you know, maybe 50% transparency. So you don't want to do a finished coat right away, just psss. And also you don't want to spray in that manner either, where it's a steady spray nor too close. So I'm going to show you how real quick. Let's do a test spray. I'm going to get some through the can. All right, so what we're going to do is you're going to hold it about, you know, maybe about a foot, maybe a foot and a half away, and you just want to go in spurts like this. So what I do is I pretty much go tap, 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 tap with my finger. I never hold it down like tss. Everybody has a different method, but just spray across like this. And it doesn't seem to be taking to this particular plastic really well. I'm not sure why that is. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep going until it's covered. And then we'll see how it is. Because like I said, it's a rubber-based paint, so you can always peel it off if you don't like it. I sanded it down so it has a little bit of grip, a little bit of graininess to it, so I don't know why it's not really taking, but it should. Now the reason why I'm doing it in this room, by the way, is because it's warmer in here than the rest of the basement. And you don't want to paint in an area that's cold. You want to have a nice room temperature, at least like, 75-degree area. And that way the paint can dry at an appropriate rate and in the manner that it should. If it's too cold, you end up having some problems. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not really liking how this is coming out. You guys can't see it from right there, but I can see it up close, and it's not. I don't know how to describe it. It's not laying flat enough. It's a little chunky actually. It could be the paint. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll let it dry a little bit, and like I said, since it's a rubber-based paint, we can just peel it off if we decide we don't like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this in the same way, just broad strokes, tap, 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 you know, until I've glossed over the whole thing. There you won't see any black. You see a little bit, but not too much. Once that's done, then I'll do a second coat. But like I said, you don't want to soak it. You don't want to do this. You know, because then what happens is it gets runny and it won't lay right because it's contoured. It's not completely flat. It rolls on each side. So you may end up having layers that are a little thicker here than over there, and over the roll it runs. You have like little drips. It just doesn't come out right. You want a smooth layer across the top. So that's why you want to do broad strokes and taps. All right, see you guys in a minute. All right, so we've gone ahead and opened the door. The paint's dry, and make sure you wipe down the frame right here before you apply your door sill. So we're gonna go ahead and use the original pegs that were in there. But since I cut the center section out, you can get a look at that. Since I cut the center section out, it's gonna miss those pegs in the center. It's fine because we're gonna place the plate in the middle, but we're gonna use some 3M double-sided adhesive to do that, and this stuff's really strong. What you would do is, if you wanted to take it off, you'd have to use like some sort of alcohol-based like goof off or product like that. So it holds really well. I'll let you get a look at it. Here's our first one. You can tell it came out nice and sweet. The trim, there you go. See the lines? Everything's nice and even. Took a couple coats, but it looks good. So we got those pegs already in place right there, here and here. And we're gonna go ahead and pop it on. And it actually matches rather nicely. It's not an exact match to the leather interior, but it's not bad either. It's pretty close. So it should pop right into place, just like that. The rest of the door sill just tucks nicely. Now from here, we will apply our tape in the center. Let's just put our plate in to see how it looks. This actually looks pretty sweet. I'm going to go ahead and apply tape to the back of the plate as well, so it gets a solid hold. We might need more than one actually. We might need 2 layers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll see the final product. All right, so I've gone ahead and finished both doors, and there's the final product. Like I said, I think the tan looks a little more welcoming, or inviting, as I said. Let me know if you think I should do black instead. I can always just peel it off and do another color, but I don't think it looks bad. It's not a perfect match to the original interior, but it doesn't contrast too greatly where it's obvious. So I don't know, I think it looks pretty good. Let me know. Peace.